Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. All right. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. My nose is itching. Is it the international side for kissing a fool or something like that? Maybe. There's some positive cards going on here. This is your side, right? Yeah. Okay. Only one oracle card, but I feel like it cinched it up. This could be really good for you. For the people this is going to hit for, I feel like this could be really, really good for you. Now, I'm noticing the challenge card for your partner is the Sun card, which is pretty much one of my favorite cards in the deck, obviously, for a lot of people. But the challenge card for them is to let go of something that they really enjoy that's not working for the relationship. I feel like your partner might be overly comfortable and very resistant on going forward to something else because they're very comfortable. And they might not believe that they can achieve this Sun card in a different way. And the way things currently go, they might be overly comfortable in this subject. Now, in that being said, I feel like they're trying to work with you. They've got the Six of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. Like they're giving you the ability to change some things, but they're trying to hold the majority of what they like the same. So what they're giving into you about are pieces that don't really affect their Sun card, their good moment. And they're trying to give into you a little bit, but in a way that it won't threaten that. And I see you coming in here with the Ace of Pentacles. What they're giving to you, what they're willing to work with you on, you're starting to really invest in. And you're like, all right, you gave me an inch. I need to take this a mile, though. I need to. And that's how I'm feeling it on your side. Now, you've got the Five of Pentacles where you're standing with the Resistance. Now, I feel like you're not getting enough from the situation. I feel like that's the biggest piece here. You're not feeling fulfilled. You're not feeling like this is working out. Either you're doing too much or you're connected too little. One or the other. I know that's very drastic. So it's either you're helping with a situation and you feel like you're doing almost everything, or you're not really a part of the situation and you're feeling left out. Either way, this Five of Pentacles fits for me because if you're doing everything, it could just feel like you're being worked to the bone and you have nothing left. That's why that's also there. So it's left or right. And the resistance here is kind of like your partner is resistant to let it change. And that seems to be the challenge here, to work through this resistance. Another thing I'm seeing as your challenge card actually is the Empress card, which don't get caught up in the gender, which I always say in these general reads. But you may be a little bit overly willing to work with the situation. In the sense of like you might be overly willing to let somebody else have their good day and playing yourself down. That seems to be the challenge of the Empress. Sometimes doing for others to the point to where it puts the Empress at a negative, like at a disadvantage. So be careful with that. I feel like this does need to change. And I feel like this might be the point of this reading for those of you this is really hitting with. You're feeling the need to change. You're feeling like either you're doing too much or you're being completely left out, one of the two. And they're saying that needs to change. Whichever way that's playing, if this is hitting with you, this showing up here is saying that needs to change. That's your challenge card to put this in balance because the Empress, when she's at full glory, includes herself in the taking care of. Like, she helps everybody take care of things, but she takes care of herself, and she makes sure that if they have some time, they also help her get up to par as well. It's a community effort. She takes care of the community, and she recognizes herself as part of that community. She helps others, and has others help her when necessary. That's the optimization of this card, in my opinion, of course. So I'm feeling like if this is hitting with you, they're saying this needs to change, and not to just give in to somebody else because you know they're happy. That's great, but you need to be happy too, and it's important for you to be happy as well. Justice is coming, by the way. You got this in your spiritual sense. This is your chance to help your partner balance this out and help this come into correct alignment before, the universe says, listen, this has gone on too long, and we're going to make it change. So this is like, you are helpful here, helping this change, helping this balance now before the universe says, listen, this has gone on too long, this is not balancing, guess what? And there you go, you're getting pushed out the airplane. It's like skydiving. That's a good analogy for me, but for people who don't really care for heights, the analogy of being pushed out of a plane and being forced to skydive, I'm just saying. You may survive, but you may hate the whole trip down. I'm just saying. Now, as we keep going forward, your partner has the Hanged Man spiritually. And I do see it coming in with the Four of Swords in the sense of like they are resistant and they don't want to lose the Sun card. They don't want to lose that happy day. So them moving forward isn't really, it doesn't seem like that's what's happening to change the situation. What does seem to be changing the situation is your involvement, your push forward. You have the King of Swords. They have the Ten of Wands, which is a success card in my opinion, but there's a lot of stress. It's very hard to get that success. The change is going to be very hard on them is what I'm telling you. But success, I feel like you guys can return to this sunny day. It's just that things have to change. It's going to be very stressful on them for the change to happen, but it's very warranted. The King of Swords on your side is you have to push it forward. You have to orchestrate it. You have to make it happen. You have to keep communicating like, no, we're doing this differently now. No, we got to keep going this way. Keep doing this. You have to create the change. They have the Hanged Man. They're not going to do it on themselves. You're the King of Swords. Like, not to be flat out obvious, but the King of Swords has a sword and can cut down that Hanged Man. Anytime the King of Swords wants to do it, boom, it cuts down the Hanged Man. He's free. So it's you forcing this to happen. But in the analogy with the stress, you cut that Hanged Man loose, he's probably going to fall on his head. He'll be fine. But it's probably be a little painful at first. Where this is going, if you're able to push this forward and make this change, your partner will have the Six of Wands. The happy day will return. That's where I'm getting that from, by the way. You have the Two of Cups. You're feeling very good, too. You're enjoying that day just as much as they're enjoying that happy day. You're both enjoying it equally, and it's continuing on, and it's feeling really good. You pushing this into alignment is making you both happy in the long run. In the long run, because they're going to have a lot of difficulty doing the change, but in the long run, you're both going to be enjoying the happy day. You also, it's leading in, these are like 3 bonus cards. It's leading into the Star card, a lot more hope, a lot more optimism. The Knight of Swords. You're going to have to constantly keep at it. Your partner should be communicating back as well because they want you both to be happy. So constant communication between the two of you will keep it in a very positive place. Karma is telling me the more you work together to keep you both happy, both satisfied, both nourished, the longer it will last, the better it will be. But both of you need to be happy. You do have the Empress card here, just telling me it has to be balanced. You included in the community, keeping everything happy. You included. Everybody needs to be happy. And you know what? There's going to be some work to it. But still, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's like having a family cookout. Some people have to cook things. Some things have to be cleaned up. Things have to be taken care of. The lawn has to be mowed. You know, we got to keep an eye on this one to make sure that they don't go running off and doing that. There's a lot of work to be done to keep the sunny day going so that everybody is taken care of and fed and dishes are done or whatever has to be done. But it can be an enjoyable situation the whole way around while it's happening. And I feel like that's, again, the community effort. So the change is very much worth it. I feel like that's the whole thing with this part of the reading. This reading for those that it's hitting with. The effort in the change is not only warranted, it's very helpful. And just as another reminder, if you don't step in and change it, fate will step in and change it at some point to balance it out. So it might as well be you changing it so that everybody can enjoy the happy day together instead of like some people enjoying it and not everybody enjoying it. I think we're good. All right, that is Scorpio for relationships. What do we have for single Scorpios? Messages for single Scorpios. What do we have for single Scorpios? Anything in particular? Anything important? What does that mean? That's what's coming through right off the bat. Is there anything important going on here? Single Scorpios. Let's find out. Those two cards in the center. Yes, I do think there's something important going on here. The person you're dealing with, are they gun shy? Are they just... I feel like you might be having a hard time lighting a fire under somebody's butt to keep them interested or keep them coming towards you. Okay. Okay, that seems to be a warning, but that's good. For single Scorpio, you seem to be the one with the passion, is what I'm getting. And this is a very interesting combination. You have the King of Pentacles at the top, the King of Wands at the bottom, which don't get caught up in the gender, but one of you is very active and animate, and let's do it, let's get it done, let's go, let's get this party started, let's hit the beach running, let's hit the beach running, King of Wands. The other one is kind of like, yeah, I want to do stuff, but I need a good plan. We need to work out the plan first. I'm not about hitting that beach running. You hit the beach running. I need to decide what beach I want to go at. And when I get to that beach, or when I decide the beach, I then have to decide how I want to get there. And then I'm going to take my time setting up a spot for me at that beach. We ain't hitting the beach. I ain't hitting the beach running for nobody. That's kind of the differences with the attitudes here. Which I feel like in the long run, this will be a conducive energy with you. This will meld well. But when it's starting off, it's kind of like you kind of get their attention. They show that attention back. You say you're interested. They seem to be interested too. But it's kind of like, let's do something. And you're like, yeah, let's do that. All right, tonight, let's go to dinner here. And they're like, well, hold on. I've got plans. How about in 2 weeks we can go here maybe? Well, how about in 2 weeks I can see you, but I need to work out the details with you. That's them. You're like, yeah, we're interested. Let's go out to dinner tonight. They're like, no, let's wait a week or so and shoot me ideas and I'll decide if I'm really into that. It just kind of depends how I feel at the time. It's kind of like, well, is this going to work or not? Because I feel like you're kind of like put to the side, like, this, like, I thought we were interested in each other. Why don't you just want to, like, hang out? And they're like, I am interested, but, you know, I got things going on. I just gotta, like, let's plan for, like, a week out or so, maybe 2 weeks out. And let me know what you're thinking about what we could do, and we could do that, maybe. So you're kind of confused, like, are you interested or are you not interested? And I feel like both of you, honestly, seem to be on the same page. You both want something to happen. You both seem to be waiting. You both seem to have waiting. Can't say it. Hold on. Let me do one card and see if that works. It's been a while for both of you. That's that card. You both want something to happen. Good. All right. The two cards don't seem like you're coming at it in different ways. I feel like that's my problem. I have to do each one separately. This is you. You want something to happen, but I feel like they want something to happen too. You both have been waiting a while. You both have been single for a while, is what I'm getting. It's like, I haven't found the right one. It's been a while. You're feeling very passionate because you feel really good about this one. But they do feel very passionate about you too. But they're kind of like, well, I'm not looking to crash and burn. I don't need a flash in the pan. I need something to actually work out here. So you're coming at it at different angles. Now, assuming that you hold on to this and you give this a chance, because I feel like you're a little kind of like off to the side, like you got the Queen of Swords in your thoughts, like, and don't get caught up in the gender, but basically she looks at things honestly. She's just kind of like, well, I want to move forward. This person doesn't seem to be wanting to move forward. Am I wasting my time? Does this even make sense to go forward? But she is very highly intelligent too. She might give it a shot. She's like, you know what? I'm not sure how much I'm going to invest in this, but I suppose one roll of the dice won't cost me that much. I guess I'll roll the dice, but I'm staying on my guard. I'm not going to bank on anything just yet. You seem to be unimpressed by the response from the other person, but you seem to be hopefully still going along with it. The Queen of Cups shows up next in the future, which is very awkward in this one. It is a love card, yeah, but it can also be a reserve card in the sense of, like, I see the two of you coming together, whoever you are with, but it's kind of like you're enjoying yourself, but you're both kind of like holding back a little bit. Especially you at this point, because you're like, I'm not going to overinvest in somebody if they're not really into me. So you actually seem to be a little bit reserved too, because you're like, I'm not just going to serve up my heart so you can stab it. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep it to myself, and we'll see where this goes. And the other person is coming forward very slowly too. But this is that other person's natural energy. I'm getting there very reserved. They're like, let's slowly go into this. Let's see where it goes. I do see like this seems to be moving forward. But what I'm also getting here is the other person has baggage. They're nervous. They've got the Knight of Swords. While they like your passion, they're also kind of like, I got to be careful. Because I do like passionate people, but sometimes that works against me. They like to go slowly. They like to understand somebody. They're trying to get your temperament. They want to see if you're more of a positive influence on them, like if you're okay with how they work, or if it's going to be one of those things where after a while you get very aggravated with them and you're more likely to attack them for how they do things. They don't know. They've experienced people who don't like them. It starts out good, but over the course of time, they get a little bit, and they feel like the way they do things, people attack them for. So they're a little weird, a little weary is probably a better word to put that. But I'm also getting like, they're slowly getting used to you. Now, they had two other cards coming in this. As this keeps progressing forward, I feel like this keeps going. And they have beginnings with action. Like they seem to gain momentum. They seem to want more of your attention. And it seems like this is gaining speed quickly. It's kind of like a ball rolling downhill. The farther it goes, the steeper it gets, the faster it goes. One of those things. It's just being careful it doesn't bounce off of rocks. The end here is the Sun card with the extremes. This could be a very intense relationship. It could go that way. It may start off slow, but it could end up very intense. They're saying you might want to do self-audits. Self-relationship audits, like a relationship audits, I think is what I'm supposed to say. Pay attention how things are going. If jealousy is coming in, or people get, or if like, if jealousy becomes a thing, or like it's just kind of like you're starting to demand a lot of each other, demand a lot of time from each other, be aware of it. Because extremes could ruin your great relationship. This could be heading towards a great relationship, but this is your outcome. They're saying, make sure that you have that Sun card. Be very aware of extremes. Don't let extremes take control. When you notice them start taking effect, like jealousy, or demanding time from each other, or expecting things from each other, whatever the extreme is, it could be, just to be fair, not to make anybody uncomfortable, but could it be, if it's a sexual extreme, beware of that too, because that could end up working against you at some point. So just be very aware of extremes. Balance things out a little more. Spread things out a little more. Like, you know what I mean? Don't let jealousy become a thing. Make sure that you balance your time with your potential partner, if it goes that way, and other people, family, friends. Make sure you keep things balanced. Pull each other into each other's lives a little bit more. Just be aware of extremes. Don't let extremes become a problem. As you keep going forward, if this is going that way, it should be more apparent to your situation what that is. They're just saying don't let extremes become a problem. I recognize it as soon as it starts, jealousy or anything like that, where you think, well, maybe we're hanging out a little bit too much, or maybe we're doing such and such thing a little too much. When you first have that thought, change how that situation is going. That's your heads up. Correct it before it becomes a problem. And that's where that ends. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.